Solomon Wilcots is with us. Solomon, great to have you here. Thank you for coming on by. We're going to get your microphone working there.
There we go.
There we go.
No, I can't hear him still. We got him now. There we go. We're good.
Got to act like a pro, right? How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
You're doing well, man. You enjoying those cigars outside the other day?
Oh, yeah.
Well, smell good,
You
man.
come here and, we're up north. You and I, we're way up there,
People
man.
make fun of me because I like Skyline Chili in Cincinnati.
It took some. I'm from out west originally, though,
Right.
Scott. So my kids were born and raised in Cincinnati, so they love it. But I'm a West guy. I like Western chili. It's got to be thick.
Not that thin stuff.
That's the runny stuff.
Right.
So it's not to my cuisine. It's not to my taste buds. But my kids love it because they grew up on it, and so I get it. But I'm glad that you.
Rhode Island has the thin stuff. They put it on their wieners. Yeah, they put it on their hot dogs.
Okay, yeah.
It's awful.
Very similar. Yeah.
Coffee milk. They drink coffee milk. They're weird. They're such strange people. Right? Call it supper. We're gonna have some supper.
They call it supper.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's good seeing you, man. You look good. You look the same. Always.
I just had my 60th birthday in October. It was great.
That's how old we are. I used to call my games, man, back in the day.
I sure did. Man. Sure did. He used to mix it up.
Oh, yeah, we had fun.
Those are good times, man.
Well, wait. I know what you're here to talk about as well.
Okay.
Does this mean you got your knee fixed with this particular procedure that we're talking about?
I've been very fortunate.
Good.
My knees, hips. I wish I could say the same for my lower back, but knees and hips are great.
Oh, good.
I work with this company, Vericel, and I have so many former teammates and guys that I know around the league who are dealing with knee pain. And obviously, when you have, cartilage damage.
Oh, you're good now?
Yeah, you have any cartilage damage in your knee, it's going to be painful. And what happens is that cartilage begins to wear down. That's that smooth sort of gristle that in the chicken bone that's wrapped around the end of the bone. That's what your cartilage is. And what happens it wears down. You get to the point where you're bone on bone. And then after that, you're headed toward knee replacement surgery. This is an autologous science. What that means is it uses your own cells. So it's a stem cell form of treatment, but they arthroscopically go in and they remove a healthy portion of your cartilage. They grow it in a lab, and then they go back in and it just adheres to the healthy tissue in the bone. You literally regrow your cartilage.
How fast does it regrow?
It takes a little time, but they're talking a recovery time here from about 6 months to full recovery. All patients are different, of course, but at the end of the day, this is one of the most innovative treatments. It's already been FDA approved. You can go to the website, Macy.com, MACI.com. Find out more about the procedure, but find a doctor in your area. Okay.
That's great. I wanted to talk to you so badly about what happened here 12 years ago when the lights went out in the Super Bowl between the Ravens and the 49ers because you were working the game.
Yep.
You were on the Ravens sideline.
I was,
during that.
Yeah.
And all hell breaks loose with the lights going out.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what happened.
And what was that experience like for you being there on that sideline all of it?
What's happening here? Is this another 9/11? Let's get the hell out of here.
Okay, well, no, you start thinking it. You start thinking worse.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, man, I read too much. You got to have your head on the swivel in life. You know how that is, Scott.
Theories, right? Damn right.
I believe have security levels at this event for a reason.
But here's the thing. That's right. And then when I started to talk to stadium ops, the league people, nobody could tell you what was going on. They didn't know. They were like, shh. They didn't want to tell you anything because they didn't want me to go on the air and
but someone's head's going to roll.
Right, so they were just avoiding me, not giving me any information. So I could see that, like people in the crowd was getting restless. Some players are starting to worry about family members. Right. It was becoming a little bit nerve-wracking for a lot of people down there. And so as I go over to Coach Harbaugh, because I'm on the Ravens side, John Harbaugh, I said, "Hey man, what are you telling your players? What are you saying to them? What's happening?" He's like, "I don't know. What would you tell them?" It was kind of funny.
Some people don't know the lights in the Superdome went out. So how many, as far as a percentage, when you're down there, how dark did it get?
I would say about 50%. It was dim.
It was half.
It was dim.
And that place is dim to begin with.
Yeah. It was kind of dim, but you could see, hear, but you wouldn't want to throw a ball down the field, then think you're going to track it. So anyway,
so he says, "What would you do?"
Yeah, so I'm thinking as a reporter now. Okay, they're going to come to me. They're going to say, "Solomon, what's going on?" Can't tell them what's happening. I can't tell them why the lights went out. I'm not into making up news. I know a lot of people are these days, but I'm not. At least I wasn't, right? So I said I got to be able to give a report and do news gathering. And when you do news gathering, you need a credible source. You're supposed to go to someone who's an expert on whatever it is you're talking about, and you say you use them kind of to say, here is what they're saying. So I knew eventually the game would resume. They were going to get back to playing.
Yeah.
So I go to the coach, what are you telling your guys?
Right.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
What are you telling your guys? He was like, I don't know. What would you tell them? I was like, look over there, because I pointed over at Jim, his brother. I said, you know that guy better than anybody. He's getting his guys ready to play, man. They're going to try to come back and beat you.
Start jogging in place.
I said, they're going to come back and beat you. Because, little brothers, I'm the youngest of 4 boys. Little brothers are competitive as hell, man. So Jim's over there, got his dudes getting ready.
Yeah.
Jacoby Jones had just returned to kick for a touchdown. Right. They had just widened the lead. Yep. Looked like the Ravens are going to blow them out. Jim Harbaugh had his dudes over there getting jacked. Meanwhile, the Ravens over there looking in the crowd, wondering what's going on. So then John Harbaugh pulls his guys together, and he was like, look, they're getting ready to make a run. They think they can get back in this game. You can just hear them getting them together. And I'm going to tell you, it became a game. When they started back playing, here come the 49ers. That was the Colin Kaepernick
Came
game.
down to the throw at the end.
Think about it.
Right corner throw.
Think about it. Colin Kaepernick was playing in that game. He was in that sort of run. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Remember that postseason run he had? He was phenomenal.
We saw him in New England, and Randy Moss was one of the receivers there, and he threw 4 touchdowns that day in the rain.
And he had
killed it.
300 yards passing, over 100 yards rushing. He was Lamar before Lamar.
That game against, I think it was Green Bay in the playoffs.
Oh,
he turned the league upside down.
He sure did.
Yep.
He made a lot of people scared and I'm thinking
couldn't contain him.
I'm thinking it was a precursor to what we see in the league today. It's the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons. I mean that was special what he was doing, and we didn't know that because of his last hurrah. Right? It didn't materialize much after that. But, yeah, I do. Those are the things I take away from that night. Here's the final thing I take away from that weekend. The next day, because usually when I do a Super Bowl, I'm trying to get out on the first flight because it's crazy at the airport the next day. So I get there early. I see a couple of my former ESPN colleagues, and they call me over. They said, hey, what you did last night, that was awesome. Because, it was a whirlwind. It was crazy. It was kind of what we call when
Tasker struggled a little bit. You killed it. I'm just telling you. I called like I said.
But who told me that? It was the 2 people I talked to were my 2 former employees, or excuse me, sort of colleagues at ESPN. Stuart Scott, Andrea Kramer.
That's awesome.
And they called me over. That was the last time I talked to Stu. When I worked at ESPN, I did my audition with him. So, so for him to come over and tell me that, it felt great. And it just felt wonderful. I respect both of them. Andrea Kramer, we all know she's a wonderful journalist, and Stu Scott was one of the best there was. And I felt really, really good about the way things turned out. It wasn't easy. There was that didn't come with a script. You had to keep your wits about you. You had to know how to report. You had to know how to gather news and be able to tell a story.
Would you pay T Higgins $30 million?
I know he's worth it, yeah.
Okay.
So the needle moves quickly at that position, guys.
Sure does.
We saw it move to $30 million last year. This year, anybody signed getting 30.
Look what we offered Ridley, supposedly 25. Next thing, that's an old
25
contract.
That's an old number at that position.
Yeah.
T Higgins, here's the number: 80% of his catches since he's coming to the league has gone for either a first down or a touchdown.
Oh, Jesus! What a number! 80, I love that.
80% first down, touchdown catch.
Send that to Elliott.
That's a 1.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's this question about, is he a number 1? Is he a number 1? Of course he's a number 1.
Well, and here's the deal. In any of the games when Jamar was either hurt or when he was double covered to the point where Joe wasn't going to force it into coverage, that guy responded. That's what he did against Denver.
He averages 102 yards a game without Jamar.
There you go. So he's a 1.
Yeah.
And you got to understand, he was drafted the same year as Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was 1. He was 2. But the guy, here's what I love about T. Jamar comes a year later, and Jamar is everybody knew this dude's the dude. Now he's the dude. Most receivers, go left on you on that.
Yep.
It's like a pretty girl in the room, and then another prettier girl comes in the room. They can't take it.
They don't like it.
They cannot. These receivers cannot take it.
T.O. hated that stuff.
But T Higgins, man, he and Jamar are like this. whatever he's got to do to help win, he's always there, man. That dude, he's a phenomenal dude. Now, tell you this, go read up on him. When he came out of the state of Tennessee, the guy was more highly rated as a basketball player. You ever seen that catch? He goes up. He calls it not a 50-50 ball. He calls it an 80-20 ball. Because when he go up for it, he's coming down with it. And the dude, remember, against Minnesota, great defense, he catches it, just waves it over the pylon. He never even went into the end zone. He just waves it over the pylon. I was like, T, you're just toying with him now, man. Don't be doing that. You're showing off. You're showing off.
Break that plane, that's it.
He's a great young man. The dude's a great competitor. He played on some of those great Clemson teams, right?
Yeah.
And ended up going in the second round in 2020 after Burrow had just beaten that Clemson team in the championship game. And Bengals had the first pick the next day. They couldn't get that card in fast enough.
Jeez.
And you're a Colorado guy. How closely did you watch Travis Hunter this past year?
What do you think? A lot. He's a bad dude. Here's the thing, man. Any coach who gets him going to want to play him at both. And I would just tell you right now, don't screw him up. Let him play. Watch him. Just take care of him in terms of his rep count, right? You want some load management there. But here's the worst thing you could do, Scott. You know this. With young people, let them have fun, man.
Overloaded to kill him.
Don't just let him have fun. If he want to play too, if he want to play too, that's because he's out there to compete. He's out there. He gonna kill you, and But when you take the fun out of this thing, man, and you turn it into more work than fun, you lose them. I'm just flat out telling you right now. That's why Andy Reid's winning so many games with a team that doesn't look like it's as talented as the other teams they're playing against.
Yeah.
He makes it fun. He keeps the fun in it. Travis Kelce probably couldn't play for a lot of these other coaches, man.
Probably not.
That dude knows how to keep it fun. Trust me when I tell you. But he knows how to work, too. I'm not saying he doesn't know how to work.
Yeah.
But I remember going in and doing some of their games. I'm talking to Andy. Used to love doing Andy's games because I knew I was going to learn a lot. I knew his creativity was going to stand out. I just love the way, the culture that he builds. That's why he's the winningest coach with 2 franchises. Both of them happen to be playing in this game. He keeps it fun for his guys, man. It's a game. I remember J.J. Watt telling me that. See, do you look like you're just a kid in a candy store when you out there? He said, it's a game. You're supposed to have fun. He said, and have these coaches that's the one thing they don't want you having. Am I right, Scott?
True.
You know,
that's what Belichick was all about. He was all about fun.
Parcells didn't like that either. Who's laughing over
better not catch you having some fun.
Pete Carroll want to have fun.
What are y'all doing over there? What's funny?
How was Bill over the years? You wouldn't
know.
You say it was fun doing Andy Reid games. How about the Bill games over the years? What were those like?
Let me tell you, when I would go and talk to Coach Belichick, I cheated a little bit. So there was this book
do a little homework
by Dave Halberstam. He wrote The Education of a Coach. It's about a little small book.
Wrote it on Nantucket with it,
It tells you everything about coach. I was surprised that he did it because he's so close to the vest, right? If he was playing cards, that book is like saying, see? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, ooh, I got him now. I'll give you an example. So I'm going in. He had just moved Devin McCourty, who was a really good first-round pick at corner, right, from Rutgers, and moved him to safety. And I already know Coach Belichick. If I said, Coach, why did you move Devin McCourty from corner to safety? Tell me what it is that he does. Of course, I'm doing the broadcast, and that's what I want to tell the people. If I asked Coach that, he would look at me. He might end the meeting.
Yeah.
Because if you went at him directly with a question, he piss him off, because he's not like, I'm not doing your work for you.
You get it.
I mean,
you get it. Yep.
Yeah, you know that's how he was.
You talk Navy football, you talk Maryland Blue Crab, you open him up.
So you're right.
Get him easy.
It's the history. You get the history.
Yep.
So here's what I did. I said, Coach, when you were with the Giants, you were defensive coordinator. I remember Everson Walls. He was so good as a corner. He was undrafted out of Grambling, led the league in interceptions this rookie year. When you got him, you moved him to safety. What is it that you saw about his game that you could do that? Oh, yeah, that was great. He goes telling me everything. So all I did is took everything he said and applied it to Devin McCourty.
There you go.
That's what he did. You got to know who you're dealing with.
That.
See, you got to know who you're dealing with.
That's how he weeds it out. He's so right on.
Yeah, he's not an easy interview. And then when he loses,
the
time you had him post game,
he iced me,
the AFC title game when they blew it in Indianapolis.
Yeah, man, he iced me.
Really?
Oh,
he iced. Coach iced me. He mumbled. It wasn't legible at all.
And did that stop you in your tracks? Because it's like, what do I do with that?
No, I was like, he had this guy Bears there with him. Bears swore I did something wrong. I was like, Bears, come on, man. So it was okay though. So a few months later, because after right about this time, we're going to be in Indy at the scouting combine.
Yeah.
So, of course, on Sirius Radio, he comes on the show. All right, Solomon, look, anything you want to ask me, I'm here to answer it. I'm like, Coach, I know you are, Coach. I get it. Look, if somebody asked me a question after the game, no telling what I forgave him. I didn't hold the grudge. You know this, Scott. Here's the thing when it comes to coaches. They're just real dudes, man. What you cannot do is take any other stuff personal.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm just telling you. You can't take it personal. They are who they are.
I know Bill so well.
Yeah.
I'd be out on the road with them. We had an away game like in Philly, and I remember passing him along the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
He sees me, but he's in thought. I say, hey, Coach, and he just keeps walking. And you just can't.
Didn't say a word.
Like, does he hate me now? Like, no. Just laugh about it. Then he sees you the next morning. Hey, Zo, how you doing?
Yeah. When he didn't answer my questions in that interview, we were live. They threw for me from New York. I'm standing there. All right, guys, I'm standing here with Coach Belichick. Coach, you had a 17.
Dude, he's like Rain Man.
You had a 17-point lead at halftime. What happened in the second half? Boy, if looks get killed, there would have been an assassination. And he would like. My point is, look, I've been in those moments. I've been on I played in the Super Bowl, lost in the game. Your heart is broken, man. It's like somebody ripped your heart out. So I know how he felt. I was in a position where I had to ask those questions. That's my job. He gets to answer how he wants. It's got nothing to do with me. Got everything to do with how he was feeling at the moment. Simple as that.
Solomon, great stuff, buddy.
Thanks for coming
Appreciate
by.
it, pal.
Appreciate it.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.